Are you suffering from an enlarged prostate or worried that you may be aggravating it? Well, that's not the end of the world, as most men will experience an enlarged prostate as they begin to get older, and it isn't always that big of an issue. Still, though, an enlarged prostate, or BPH as it is often referred to, can be helped and even shrunk in some cases, but it will require some lifestyle changes to be made. That's why today we are going to cover how to shrink an enlarged prostate in 10 easy ways to help you deal with this problem once and for all. Number 1. Do intermittent fasting. Recently, there has been a lot of research about intermittent fasting, and a lot of it has come back with some really interesting results. One of the more interesting studies currently going on revolves around how intermittent fasting may very well help treat the symptoms of an enlarged prostate. Although the research itself needs more supporting studies in order to be treated as fact, one study saw that prostate size may directly correlate to fasting blood glucose levels. This essentially means that the more you fast, the more your prostate will shrink. There is a lot more research that needs to be done before we know that for certain, but many scientists are hopeful, especially considering how healthy intermittent fasting has turned out to be. Number 2. Consume more cruciferous vegetables. Generally speaking, eating vegetables has a positive impact on the symptoms of BPH. Many experts even recommend a diet mostly consisting of leafy greens, healthy fats, and to stay away from sugars or meats if you feel you may be at risk of developing BPH. More recently, however, researchers have been attempting to try and find out if there are certain kinds of vegetables that do a better job of protecting against BPH and its symptoms than others. And they believe they have found an answer. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and leafy greens may have this added benefit. In fact, as far as we know, they may even be the best kind of food if you are looking to shrink an already enlarged prostate. Although obviously the evidence is thin, we believe that cruciferous foods do the best of any vegetable at limiting the effects of BPH, thanks mostly to the hearty amounts of antioxidants that they contain. These antioxidants do a great job of flushing out any toxins, free radicals, or other irritants that might be poking and disturbing your prostate. Number 3. Exercise. Exercise is an extremely overlooked aspect to health that too many of us forget about as we get further and further into adulthood. The reality is that exercise is even more important to us as adults than it was when we were younger, since our metabolism has slowed down and we need to more actively burn calories to maintain a healthy weight. Doctors over at Harvard Medical School have stated multiple times that they believe exercising multiple times a week can have a huge impact on your prostate and make your odds of developing BPH much lower too. If you have any worries about your ability to exercise or how to go about it, you should consult your doctor. Most physicians will recommend Kale exercises for men, as those muscles are very close to your prostate area and strengthening them can help. Number 4. Maintain a healthy weight. Exercise can also help you maintain a healthy body weight, which can also impact your ability to keep your prostate in check. There is definitely a correlation between body weight and prostate size, and studies have found people who are overweight are more likely to suffer from BPH too. Gaining weight can create intra-abdominal pressure, which can worsen or even cause BPH symptoms to form, creating even more strain on your prostate. Shedding weight in order to prevent added strain on your prostate can help to shrink it and return you closer to your regular normal life too, which is why it is often a goal for people with BPH. Keeping added weight on your body for an extended period of time isn't ideal, as it can increase issues within your body that can take months or even years to fully sort through. One of the biggest issues has to do with pressure and inflammation, two factors that can drastically affect your prostate health. When you are overweight, even if you aren't classified as obese, you are experiencing irritation internally, and it can become harder for your body to do what it needs to do. Losing weight through lifestyle changes, like with diet and exercise, is a good way to try to shrink your prostate. Number 5. Cut out alcohol. Inflammation is one of the reasons why BPH can get so bad, and in some cases it can even cause the issue too. Inflammation is usually a sign that your body isn't particularly happy with what you're giving it, and it can be pretty uncomfortable as it presents itself as heartburn for many people. Greasy or fatty food can cause inflammation flare-ups, but one of the worst causes of inflammation is actually alcohol. This has a lot to do with the ingredients found in alcohol, as well as its dehydrating effect when consumed. If you drink regularly and are suffering from an enlarged prostate, one of the best things you can do to help yourself out is to start cutting down on your alcohol consumption drastically. Even a single drink can cause inflammation to form inside the body, which can put a whole lot of stress on your prostate, causing it to swell and increase in size in some cases. If you are looking for another reason to give up drinking once and for all, its negative effect on your prostate may be the answer. Number 6. Eat tomatoes, beets, and kale. Like we talked about a little earlier, vegetables are good for your overall prostate health, and you should be trying to sneak in greens into every dish if you want to get the most protection for your prostate. There are also specific veggies like tomatoes, beets, or kale, which all combine to make a big impact on your prostate health. These foods all contain vitamins, key nutrients, or specific ingredients that can make symptoms of BPH more bearable. Eating these foods can also help to shrink an inflamed prostate and make sure that no more damage to your body will be sustained. If you want to get the most out of your prostate diet, then including vegetables like tomatoes, beets, and kale is a great place to start. Number 7. Drink green tea. Green tea is filled with antioxidants, which is really good for your prostate health. Whenever something is prodding at your prostate or causing it distress, antioxidants can help to clear out the cause of the trouble. Green tea has been used for many reasons over the years and has been considered a healing remedy for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Green tea has mostly been used to help treat illness and afflictions like congestion, but it may also help with symptoms of BPH as well. It wasn't until fairly recently that we figured out how effective green tea can be in helping to shrink an enlarged prostate. But it makes a lot of sense that it would. If you really don't like the flavor of green tea, you can substitute it out for another drink with antioxidants. But you should be careful to see how much caffeine the drink has, since this can further irritate your prostate instead of helping it. Number 8. Avoid sugar. Since there is, in fact, a correlation between diabetes and BPH, many have made the leap that sugar could also be a major cause of prostate enlargement. It's too early to make leaps like that, but the amount of research going into investigating this claim definitely does indicate it is a very real concern. The problem is not just sugar, but the kind that we are consuming. Years ago, you would get away with eating more sugar because it was natural, but so much of the sugar that we eat today is processed, which comes with its fair share of health risks too. If you want to start the process of shrinking your prostate, you may have to consider cutting sugar out in a really serious way. This is a big deal though, as many diets in the West include a lot of sugars, meaning some period of adjustment will probably be needed before you get used to it. Number 9. Avoid milk. Similarly to meat, regular and consistent consumption of dairy can result in BPH. It can also exaggerate the symptoms and make having BPH a whole lot worse at the same time. If you are feeling any sort of irritation after drinking milk or eating something made with milk, you should consider looking deeper into the whole thing. Many people develop an allergy to dairy as they get older, which can make foods with a lot of cream or cheese in it pretty bad for our bodies. Because allergies to milk and dairy are so common, but the allergic reaction pretty subdued in comparison, you may not actually realize what's going on. For many people, these reactions are not the result of an allergic response at all, but rather symptoms of BPH. Digestive issues or an upset stomach are pretty common complaints that people dealing with an enlarged prostate tend to report, but they also just happen to be shared with those suffering from lactose intolerance. Knowing what you are dealing with is the easiest and fastest way to know where you stand with dairy. But either way, it may be an ingredient you would be best off avoiding. Number 10. Avoid soy. For a period of time, many dietary experts thought that soy would actually help reduce the results of BPH. It makes a lot of sense, since soy is consistently used as an alternative to meat products, and meat can cause symptoms of BPH to intensify. Over time, though, experts became less sure of their original hypothesis and started to learn some drawbacks to food like tofu that may have been initially overlooked. While originally we believed that soy could help shrink the prostate, researchers now believe that it can actually intensify symptoms of prostate irritation. As an alternative, it can still help you stay away from some processed sugars or meat products, but it shouldn't be the answer to things from a dietary standpoint. Soy can still cause you to have BPH-related reactions, and avoiding it can actually help speed up your journey to decrease the size of your prostate. Here are 2 more videos you may find interesting. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share the video with your friends. And for more interesting videos on health, subscribe to the channel.